Hi, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your November 27th, 2023 full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, so thank you so very much for doing so. If you're interested in entering to win a private reading, put a turkey in the comment box. A person will be chosen at random at the end of the month and announced through a completely separate video, and then instructions will be given in that video. So don't be scammed by anybody contacting you now saying hooray, pretending to be me. They will not be me. Just be aware of this. Don't be scammed. If you're interested in a private reading, a private personalized meditation, or a healing, check out my website, daneharttarot.com, which is linked in the description box below, as are all the cards that I'm using in this reading. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. All right, Gemini, not only is this full moon a powerful one in and of itself, it brings intensity, volatility, it brings a fast paced movement to it, but it is also in Gemini. So it's going to hit us more intensely than others. So just be aware of this during this time. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Okay. We have the Empress, crowned by the Empress. We then have the Ace of Swords. We have the Knight of Swords reversed. We have the Five of Swords. We have the Two of Swords. We have the Seven of Cups reversed. And we have the Seven of Pentacles. It's very nice. It's a very nice reading. Okay. So understand this. When we first start off during this time, we have to know, Gemini, and just be very, very aware that Gemini, we're all about the thinking mind, all right? Everything begins with a thought. In our world, in our lives, everything begins with a thought. It begins with a word. And so our thoughts need to be anchored in our hearts. And just to start off, everything in our lives, not only for this moon, this is for everybody in regards to this moon, but this is for us, for always. All right. So our thoughts are anchored in our hearts. And with our thoughts being anchored in the hearts, this is why Gemini is represented by the lovers in the major arcana. That's our card. That's who we are. It's always seen that, yes, the lovers are two people and we are represented by the twins. So, of course, that makes all the sense in the world. And it does. But it's also because our thoughts need to be anchored in our hearts. With this intense, volatile full moon, with this intense, volatile world, okay, we need to be the quiet warriors of the heart. We need to move forward in love and let love be our guide. Let love guide us forward. And with the Empress at our crown, that is something that is going to be, I don't want to say easy for us to do, because letting love guide us forward can feel hard at times, but it's going to be something that we are more naturally inclined to during this time. So run with that energy. We are at 4 degrees, 51 minutes in Gemini, this full moon. And we are a mutable sign, right? Gemini is a mutable sign, nonconformist sign. So here we are going to be looking at things and looking out of the box. But this also begins a 5-moon cycle from Gemini to Libra, all right, that brings powerful endings and new beginnings. And so we're going to be seeing that within ourselves. We've seen that within ourselves. There's been attention to us. I can feel it during this reading. And, there's just attention to this time that needs to be addressed. It's like, well, I haven't been feeling 100%, right? Well, have you been going against the grain of what Spirit is telling you to do? Are you trying to please everybody and just forgetting about you in the process? That's going to be very important. Okay. There are 6 planets in mutable signs. So before we dive into the astrology and the tarot and everything that we're feeling and seeing, let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. This is mystical. Yeah. We need to know that our lives aren't always going to be ordered in the logical, practical way that actually a Gemini really, really likes. A Gemini likes logic and practical. We're ruled by Mercury. Mercury is such a big player in this moon that, our minds have no limits during this full moon. It's almost like whatever we imagine, whatever we set ourselves to, we're opening up that door for creativity, for passion, for determination, and it's embracing the mystical. I don't need to have a constraint. I don't need to have a rule book. I don't need to have all these things. I need to just embrace the mystical, powerful, beautiful aspect of myself. It moves us then to our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. And this is dreams. This is the third eye chakra. And this is saying embrace your dreams, connect with your imagination. Somebody along the way is going to make you question, is what I'm dreaming, is what I desire right? Or am I just being, out there? Am I letting my imagination get the best of me? And sometimes it's okay to let the imagination get the best of you, to embrace the fantasy of it all, but not be a fantasist, right? Not be a person who lives purely in their mind and, makes up these things and they're not real. That's not what Spirit is talking about. Spirit is talking about here letting yourself have an imagination, letting yourself dream, letting yourself expand your world through your thoughts. And that is an absolutely beautiful thing. Knowing that Spirit is going to be talking to you a lot through your dreams is going to be very powerful for you, Gemini, because you're going to see that your mind is expanding, that, things are coming together, not only while you're awake, but also while you're asleep. And that's going to be opening up doors left, right, and center for you. It's almost like your mind is being unlocked during this time. And that's just powerful. It moves us then to our energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels. So we have the Two of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. We will have a tendency during this moon, and you can see this, you will feel this. I'm a Gemini myself. I felt this really quite powerfully, that things are rather black and white, right? White page, black print. This is how we go. So the Two of Swords is like you can choose left, you can choose right, but these are the paths. And the Ten of Pentacles, which is usually a blessings card, we're looking at generational curses. We're looking at every way we're not getting it right and how we haven't gotten it right in the past. Our family line, we're doomed to repeat this over and over and over again. And Spirit's saying stop. We also will have a tendency to compare ourselves to everybody else. Oh my gosh, they're so happy they are, doing XYZ. Oh my gosh, they have everything I could ever have dreamed of. And Spirit is saying here, stop it. Stop comparing yourself to others. It's not going to be healthy for you. It's just not. It's not going to be something that actually helps us to achieve. It will always put us in a state almost of like feeling like we're starving, right? Feeling like we're being deprived because everybody else's plate is so full and they're feasting on all these great things that we ourselves really, really want. So being aware of this is going to be super important so that we can curtail it. We can nip it in the bud and say, oh no, I am powerful. Now, there are 6 planets in mutable signs. Now, this can be a chaos that some of us Geminis absolutely thrive off of. For others of us, we just feel like everything's like this. It's like shaking, it's overwhelmed. You could find that you're really sensitive to any sort of stimuli during this time, so be mindful about caffeine. All right. The 6 planets that are in mutable signs are Neptune, Saturn, the Moon, Mercury, the Sun, and Mars. Now, Mercury the Sun, and Mars are in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a sister sign for us. So it brings out the best in us, it brings out the worst in us. Our planet is Mercury. We're ruled by Mercury. So here, Saturn is freedom and independence and truth. We're seeking that out. But Saturn can also be I'm right, you're wrong. When it comes to the creative aspect of the Empress, when it comes to birthing forward our creativity, there needs to be a sense of, yes, I'm right, you're wrong. Like I need to go with this creative, inspiration, movement, idea, but not to the detriment of letting ourselves shine, right? It's not like, oh, I'm going to do this thing that is so hard, so impossible, so draining on me that, other people just don't get it. It's like, well, okay, but be kind to yourself. Through all of this, Gemini, you have to remember to show yourself some grace, be kind to yourself, and take care of your heart, your soul, and your being. The Empress is powerful. The Empress stands quietly and firmly. I always see the Emperor as being the one, kind of, well, you would guess, I guess these are very sexist roles, but I always see the Emperor as being the one in the middle of the battlefields, right? Who is making these big decisions and yelling and screaming at things and getting things done. And the Empress moves in quiet strength. She gets things done. But I always see this as like Hatshepsut or, Hatshepsut, who made it the forgotten queen or pharaoh of Egypt, and she was the first female pharaoh of Egypt, and she expanded her rule, and she expanded the power and the might and the beauty of Egypt because she made trade routes, right? She invested, she built, she took care of her people, and it grew, and it grew, and it grew, and they loved her for it. And so here, that's what I'm seeing. It's like take care of those around you, yes, but take care of you. And then all of a sudden things will grow. All of a sudden you will grow. All of a sudden that creative energy that has been building up inside of you has a way to move forward. And it's absolutely beautiful. So that energy comes through very, 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 very powerfully. Now, the spontaneous energy that is brought to us by Sagittarius, that spontaneous, restless energy is telling us don't let the ego get in the way. Just because we want things done during this time doesn't mean we have to push, and it has to be right now. So being aware of this is going to be super important. Also, Mercury is conjunct the galactic center. And Mercury, again, being the ruling planet of us, of Gemini, this connects us with divine intelligence. This connects us with universal energy. And we're going to see ourselves moving forward more in a creative manner, which again is very much in line with the Empress who is crowning us. Now, the Ace of Swords comes into play. And the Ace of Swords is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, cutting through doubts, fears, negativity in order to show us the truth of our voice. Now, there is a sense here, again, because this is such a mutable time, this is such a changeable, kind of volatile time, that we're looking at cutting through things, but we're thinking, oh my gosh, am I making the right decision? Am I making the wrong decision? Do I trust my voice? Obviously, that person over there has more degrees or more credentials than I do, or I just think they look better than I do. So I'm going to trust them. I'm going to step into that energy. And Spirit's saying here, stop it. Stop it. There's a clarity of mind. There's a power of being that's coming forward that is absolutely fantastic within you, Gemini. So cutting through doubts, fears, and negativity, claiming your voice, claiming what you want, but also seeing what you need to hone within you. A sword is the only weapon in the whole entire tarot. And the sword was the weapon of nobility. The power of the mind, the power of words is your noble calling. And so here, as we're cutting through the doubts and the fears and negativity, which is keeping us from rising into our full potential and our full power, we're claiming who we are and what we want and what we love. Now, what's interesting here is that we have the Knight of Swords. So we're taking this energy, absolutely, but the Knight of Swords is reversed. And the Knight of Swords, in its upright position, is the White Knight, right? Here we have the Pegasus with the Knight's helmet on it. Very, very cute. But when it's reversed, it's thinking any movement forward is better than no movement at all. I just have to go. I just have to go. I just have to get this done. I just have to, put my foot on the gas pedal and go, go, go. So Spirit is saying here, be very, very mindful, because we can fall into the energy. This energy comes from Mars squared Saturn. So Mars is energy of go, 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 go. Saturn is energy of, hey, slow it down. Look at all the different avenues. Look at all the different ways forward. and make sure you're heading in the right direction for you. So here, being very mindful of this, we're getting the gift from divinity. It's coming in, but we can be rather reckless with this. We can be all over the place. It's going to be so easy to be scattered, mind, spirit, soul, just feel like, oh my gosh, where can I even start? And how can I even move forward? So that's going to be important here as well. Now, Saturn is 0 degrees 56 minutes in Pisces, which is squaring the full moon, the sun, and Mars. Now, this is us looking at the way things have always been. And I can feel and can see a sense of, I don't want it to be like it has always been, energy coming forward. So we might just want to hit the nuclear button. Don't do that. Don't do that on things. This is finding a balance between tradition and innovation. And here we're going to think right now, anything that's new, anything that's wacky, anything that's like, bright and vibrant or just seems different is going to be right. And sometimes it's just not going to be. So just be aware of this. With the 5 of Swords, we are facing battles that we have faced before, but we are coming to them as a totally different human being. We're completely different than we were when we started this journey. We really are. And there's something about this moon, there's something about this time that is going to show this to us, like undeniably bring this forward. And you're going to be looking at things, Gemini, and you're like, oh wow, I'm not handling it that way anymore, or I'm not being pulled into that pettiness anymore, or I'm not fighting that fight. You can fight it. Meaning whomever is wanting to have that argument, you can fight it, but I'm not going to. So here, understanding this is going to be really important, that you're going to see something. And the first thing it's going to do to you spiritually, emotionally, personally is like, oh my gosh, I'm back at being, 10 years old, right? I'm back being 16 or whatever it is. But you're not, because who you are now is so undeniably different. And there's a power to you. There's a force to you. You can stand in the midst of the storm and not be blown over like you were once upon a time. So just remember that. That's a big deal. With the 2 of Swords, it's interesting that we had the 2 of Swords to be mindful of. So we need to be mindful that we think it's like this road or this road. We can have a tendency to be very absolutist about things. And then with the 2 of Swords in the reading, it's saying here, hey, listen, you thought it was either A or it was B, but look at all the different roads that can open up to you. Look at all the different ways that you can move forward. Now, what's very interesting here is that the sun is in a quintile with Uranus. And a quintile is intense, all right? So a quintile aspect brings obsession and it could bring war, all right? Which we are seeing in this world already. But Uranus brings awakening. So it's like the 2 ways of the sword come forward, obsession and war, right? And we're seeing the awakening come forward, a heightened state of being come forward. And it's like, oh, there's so much more here. If you want to go deeper into the astrology of things, I do apologize for not saying this earlier, but Pam Gregory, I have her linked in the description box. She's phenomenal. So check her out if you want to. Now, there's also a quintile between Venus in Libra and Jupiter in Taurus. Now, Venus rules both Libra and Taurus, which people are usually surprised to hear because we can think of them as so different. And this can bring changes in relationship and also in finances. So know that like paths are opening up to us or things are happening and we're like, oh my gosh, I never expected, I always thought it was 2 ways, but now different worlds are opening up, different ways are opening up to move us forward. So being aware of this is going to be a very, very, very powerful thing. Now, it's interesting that we're crowned by the Empress, but then we have the 7 of Cups reverse, which means that we're losing sight of our dreams. And I love the little narwhal right here sticking its head out with all the cups on its horns. That's enchanting. And there's just a sense of, do I give up on my dreams? And that's what we've been asking ourselves, probably for 7 months, 7 weeks, 7 days, 7 years. Like, do I just walk away from my dreams, from what I wanted, what I dreamt of when I was small? Kind of like that Bee Gees song, right? When I was small and Christmas trees were tall. So here, that's what's coming forward. There's a bit of, I always found that so sad, but there's a bit of like sorrowed nostalgia in this. It's like, well, was I wrong? Was the dream wrong? Like, was what I wanted wrong? How do I move forward? Where is my path? What do I desire? And Spirit is saying here, it's time to connect with your dreams again. They're going to be different than when you had them, when you thought up this whole world for yourself. It's going to be different. But it doesn't mean it's going to be bad. And it moves us then to the Seven of Pentacles. Seven is an interesting number, okay? So 7 is a number that is all about, it's all about the mysteries of things. We have the mystical that has come up. It's all about mysteries, esoteric, diving deeper into knowledge seeking. But 7 is also a number of truth. It means that people with a life path of 7, with, when 7 shows up a lot in a reading, or here it is twice, it is a sense of lies will be coming out. And you can be called out. You can say a little white lie that you think, oh, this is no big deal, and people will call you out of it. Somebody can like massively lie standing right next to you, to your face, and nobody will say anything. So just be aware. Just be aware that that can be a very interesting energy that comes forward during this full moon. The 7 of Pentacles is patience. Be patient as you're growing things. Be patient with the seeds that you are planting, but also be intentional with what you are planting and how you are cultivating it. Okay? That is going to be a very important thing. Be mindful of what you are planting and how you are cultivating what you want. Know that it will not happen overnight. It will take time, but that you are weathering. I don't know why Spirit is saying you're weathering a storm right now, but you are going to find yourself stepping into your power. You're going to find that what you have planted really does bear fruit in a very extraordinary way. Okay, so let's see what the moon has to say for herself. Start here. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Yeah. And spirit guides, angels. And spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Angels and spirit guides. Okay. So very strong Virgo energy coming forward, which is interesting because Virgo is also ruled by Mercury. So just know that Mercury is playing a really big role during this time for you here, Gemini. So what I love is that we have the Empress with self-love and the full moon in the new moon in Taurus, which says here, prosperity lies ahead. Embrace self-love. Embrace loving yourself. You're going to start to focus in on you in a way that you haven't in quite some time, Gemini. And so Spirit is saying here, look at what you love, lead with love. Remember, you're represented by the Lovers card. It isn't just being in a relationship that's important to a Gemini. It is the love that you cultivate, build, and move in your life. Prosperity lies ahead. It does. And during this time, we can feel like it doesn't for one reason or another. It's just because we feel so like raw and on edge at times that we think, oh no, that love isn't going to come in, that beauty isn't going to come forward. I don't get to have this. And Spirit's saying, oh yes, you do. The self-love is cultivating your greatness, your power, your assertion of self, your determination, and it's opening you up in a way that you hadn't realized you needed. It was like, oh no, but I was heading down that path. And Spirit's like, yeah, I know you were heading down that path, but I need you to go over here. I need you to walk this path. It brings us to the end of a tough cycle approaches as we realize that we are the key. As the Ace of Swords, that gift from God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe comes in, it unlocks, it opens up our mind, it cuts through doubts and fears, and negativities, hurts and pains and disappointments. And all of a sudden, we're starting to see, oh, I'm coming out of the fire, right? I've had my crucible. I've had my hurts, my pains, my disappointments, my things that have shaped my souls in ways that I didn't realize. I didn't realize I was being shaped. And now I'm seeing the power in me walking forward. Now I'm seeing the power in me in general. And it brings us then to a time to give rather than take, reversed. And this is interesting. So instead of with the Knight of Swords reversed, right? We can be rather chaotic. We can want things to be just like so powerful, so moving, so going forward. There's just, it's almost going to seem like we want to say, I thrive in the chaos, right? That's what we'll tell people. I thrive in the chaos. But our nervous system, ourselves, our souls, it's going to be more like I fry in the chaos. So just be aware of this. A time to give rather than take. And Spirit's like, no, take in the energy you need. Take time, connect with you, connect with your power, because you're going to come to the realization that there has been a resistance. All right. You have, in one way or another, during this time here on earth, there has been energies that have tried to crush you down, that have tried to hold you back, that have tried to keep you small, that have cut your wings. Actually, it's more like they've stabbed through the wings, and you're healing and you're seeing yourself growing. And you're like, oh. And so this is a time to take in the healing energy. That's why grounding, was it grounding? Oh no, dreams come in. But I'm just seeing grounding here, the Earth Star chakra coming forward. And there's a sense here of like, I need to ground myself. I need to root myself in the earth. And I need to see myself growing. And I need to take in that energy. The answers you need are coming. They are. All right. This is the full moon in Gemini coming through, which just amplifies how important this full moon is for us. It's with the Five of Swords. We're very different people than we were, once upon a time. The answers you need are coming, and you will see it starting to come with this full moon. The energy around this full moon, a little bit before, a little bit after. It can't even be from this full moon to the next full moon, where you really see yourself stepping into your power, stepping into what you want, stepping into what you desire, the purity of yourself. Now, I don't mean that in a, kind of like purity rings type of thing, because that's weird. What Spirit means is, and what the moon is saying, is like the purity of the snow, the untouched potential, the fact that anything can be. When you see a little kid and it's like, oh my gosh, they can be anything. And there's that expanse to them. There's a purity of soul to that. And here it's embracing that. It's embracing that endless potential. It's embracing that nobody has put their grummy, fingerprints on things. And it's all just open. And so here, that's what we're embracing. Is that sense of the expanse of it all. The answers you need are coming, and they're opening up doors in a way that it's like, oh, but it could be like this. And oh, it could be like that. And oh my gosh, what about this? And I never thought of that. So being aware of this energy can be absolutely life-changing. So just being present, as you stand in yourself and in your power and in what you want, you're going to see that it's like, oh, the answers I need are coming. It's like, but first, I had to stand in me. Like, I had to embrace my power. And it brings a new romantic cycle begins. It says here, a new romantic cycle begins with the Two of Swords. And this is nourishment. This is a sense of a new romantic cycle begins, and it nourishes us as we start to see the paths that we had thought of in our heads when we were like 15 years old and trying to map out our whole entire existence and saying, oh, well, this is the way it's done. And now a new romantic cycle begins, a new way to fall in love with ourselves and our hearts and our worlds and our beings. And we start to nourish that. We start to nourish new dreams. We start to nourish new ideas. Remember, during this time, the mind is endless. We are open to endless possibilities. Okay? Yeah. So Spirit, okay, so Neptune is squared Mercury. All right? And I think I totally skipped over this. Neptune is squared Mercury, which brings powerful creativity and imagination. And that just energy of Neptune came forward so strongly that I had to stop. I was like, whoa, where did that come from? And here it is that expanse of, with Mercury so powerful, with Neptune connecting us with our dreams, the mind is endless. It's like the possibility of our mind is endless, and it's nourishing us in a new way. We're forming a new relationship with it, and it brings us to time to breathe out, which is what Spirit has been telling us. Breathe out, connect with yourself. Don't hold it all so tightly within us. Now, focus is reversed. And I love that focus is the butterfly over the third eye. I think this is like the most stunning card. We'll put it in the upright position for you guys to see. But with focus reversed, all right, there is a sense that our third eye is opening. And with, again, all these mutable signs that we're dealing with all this chaotic, volatile energy that is around us with the quintile, there's a sense of, I don't want to see, I don't want to feel, I don't want to go this deep. Time to breathe out. You're going to connect, especially if you're empathic, especially if you're psychic, especially if you're just a sensitive. You're going to need to breathe out and understand that you're connecting and that the world is volatile, crazy, intense right now. And understanding that our focus needs to be on the awakening of our souls, ourselves, and standing in our power. Because Gemini, that makes us unstoppable. It does. Ooh, You are good enough in sovereignty. You are good enough. I always say this, and if you've been here before, you know it. But I used to get really mad when I would read this card. You're good enough. I was like, you're never good enough. You should always be striving for more. You should always be pushing. You should always be going after. Never settle. And it's not patronizing. The fact that I was reading it as patronizing said a lot more about me than about this words printed on a card. Our sovereignty in the moon, the ever-changing, light that shines down at us at night, our consciousness, ourselves. I like to see the moon as an eye opening. A full moon is the full open eye. The new moon is the closed eye. And it tells us, okay, here's the spotlight. Here's time to, look at it all. And then the closed eye of the moon. Here's the time to take it all in, set the intentions. What do you want? You are good enough. When you stand in your power, in the sovereignty of this moon, in the power of this moon, you are enough and you are powerful. Know that, Gemini. Know that. There's nothing more that needs to be added. You might say, okay, well, I need to do this and I need to do that. Yes. But you, in and of yourself, as you stand right here, right now, are enough. And that is a powerful thing. It brings us to our subconscious spirit message, which is energy. We will get a lot of energy from this moon. We might find it overwhelming and chaotic and crazy at times. Acknowledge that, yes, but there is powerful energy moving you forward during this moon. If we can center ourselves and harmonize ourselves, we will be able to move forward in ways that we just couldn't imagine. Our subconscious chakra message is divine wisdom. This is the Earth Star, no, not the Earth Star, the Soul Star chakra, located 6 inches above the crown. We are getting so much knowledge, so much information during this time. It is opening our minds and our hearts and our souls in ways that we hadn't imagined. Let the knowledge wash over you. Gemini, if there's one thing that we love the knowledge. We love diving deeper into things, looking at things in different ways. This is beautiful. Let this beauty guide you forward. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Ace of Swords, reversed. The Ace of Swords reversed, which is interesting because that's the gift that we have here during this reading that we got from Spirit. But the Ace of Swords reverse is self-doubt. It's a gift that we're not ready to take right now. But it usually, I'm just seeing it as making us really hypercritical and hypersensitive to ourselves. So an acknowledgement of that is going to be very important. Our subconscious tarot message is the Ace of Cups reversed. Emotionally, we can be feeling very overwhelmed. And an acknowledgement of feeling overwhelmed is going to be important. There's a gift coming in, again, from God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe. And it's going to be a gift of the heart. But there's a sense here of my heart's a bit fragile, or my heart's a bit overwhelmed, or I'm not sure I can have this, or it can be like this. And so there's something here where a past idea is limiting the expanse of our heart, the expanse of our love, and the expanse that is moving us forward. So being aware of this is going to be super, super, super important. But knowing that a gift of more love is coming into our lives, that's a beautiful thing. And Spirit's trying to prime us to, take that in, to, just live in that glory of that love. Our subconscious Luna message is acceptance, and confidence is your key to success, reversed. There's an acceptance of the duality of ourselves coming forward, where confidence is our key to success. Reversed Spirit is saying here, be confident in yourself. We can have a bit of a difficulty, seeing confidence as cockiness and not wanting to be arrogant, and that's cool and totally understandable. But being confident within yourself and knowing that you're going to be kind of looking at certain areas or expanding yourself in ways where you're not really sure, you're like a little bit like hesitant, like, can I do this? Can I move forward this way? And Spirit's saying, absolutely, absolutely. Just knowing that confidence is the key to success. And yet we're having a little bit of difficulty embracing that confidence. All right. All right, Gemini. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Gemini. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless and have a blessed moon. Bye.